Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today I'm jumping on to flat iron my hair and share all of my styling products, all of my tips and things that I learned from having short hair. And yeah, you guys wanted to see it, so here it is. If you have questions along the way, please leave them in the comments below. I will answer any questions you guys have, but if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey guys, excuse me. I just woke up a little bit ago, walked Axel, and now I'm here to flat iron my hair. What I did last night, this video is going to be all about my hair. I'm going to talk to you guys about some other stuff while I'm flat ironing, but this is the video that you guys wanted. I've been getting so many questions about my hair. What products do I use? Like, how do I style it? Why is it so shiny? First of all, let me take off my eye mask because I don't need to wear those the whole video. So my hair. One, my hair is shiny because I have no color on it. For the first time in over 10 years, I have zero bleach, zero color on my hair. So that attributes a lot to the level of shininess and reflection that it gives off naturally. Secondly, I think that the fact that I make sure that I protect it from the heat, even though I use a flat iron a lot, heat protection is key. Thirdly, I spend a lot of money on styling products. I've said in a couple other videos, I don't spend a lot on shampoo and conditioner. I do make sure that my shampoo is sulfate free, but I can find shampoo and conditioner that's sulfate free at Target. So my money as far as hair goes to my haircut and my styling products. Last night I washed my hair. I let it air dry while I slept. Before I went to bed, I put some of the Orbe foundation mist in it, combed it through, and this is essentially just like a sort of like a prep spray. It doesn't have any heat protection, but it sort of detangles, adds a little bit of shine, you know, helps it make sure that your comb can run through it. So that's not necessarily one of my necessities, even though I really like it. The second thing that I did was I took just a little bit of the Super Shine Moisturizing Cream and put that in my wet hair, just a little bit. The problem is that Oribe products are so concentrated that if you end up going in with a glob of this and a glob of that, especially on short hair like mine, it's just going to be weighed down and it's going to look greasy before you can even get done flat ironing it. So I literally took a pea-sized amount of that and went to bed. My hair is not the type to dry, stick straight, unfortunately. So I have a lot of work to do with my flat iron. The first thing that I do is I go in with my Royal Blowout. This is the super expensive mist from Orbe because this is pretty oily. And for the bottom pieces of my hair, I don't want them to be super oily. So what I'll do is I'll take like 3 sprays in my hands and I'll just run it through my hair like that instead of spraying it on my actual hair. Oh my God, it smells so good. If you guys have ever used the Orbe products, you'll know what I'm talking about, but their products smell so good. Don't be alarmed by the steam. It is because that Royal Blowout mist is on there and it is just evaporating as my flat iron hits my hair. You have to make sure you get the pieces that are really close to the neck, because if those are not ironed out, then they will just not sit. They won't lay down and it'll create a lump. So let's talk about my haircuts. I've had short hair since 2007. So the reason that I chopped off all my hair is because I was going through a really bad breakup and my ex loved long dark hair. So I was super young. I was what, 20 or 21, and I ended up, no, I guess I was 21, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was young, and I decided that the best way to deal with my breakup was to chop off all my hair and make sure that it was no longer long. And even though I did it sort of out of spite and kind of like, yeah, you know, fuck this guy, like, you know, you're out of my life kind of deal, I actually ended up really loving the fact that it was low maintenance. I didn't have to do a whole lot with it. And the first time I chopped my hair, it was not this short. It was probably right above my shoulder. But then I quickly cut it again and again. And so it's been all sort of different lengths of short since 2007. The longest that it's been is, you know, right below my shoulder. And that was during my time on YouTube when it was longer. You guys can look out. I think it was like last winter. Making sure that your hair is protected from heat is huge. And the second thing that I will say is when it comes to styling my hair, if I was going to give like one kind of tip away, something that helped me and I learned over time, is that when you're flat ironing a short haircut, work in small sections. Don't try to just divide it in two and flat iron it like that, because depending on the haircut, it is going to take quite a few different sections to actually make sure that it's all being flat ironed properly. But I love having short hair. I'll go back and forth. Like, I do like being able to have it long enough to put it up. But what I've realized is that once it's long enough that I can put it up, it's up all the time. So for me, there's really no point in having longer hair. But I love, I like not being able to, like, not having to blow dry it and flat iron it. I do notice, like, the nights or the days that I choose to do both, my hair will feel a lot drier. Even if I protect it from the heat, it's just a lot to blow dry and then immediately go in with the flat iron. So I wanted to, I don't even know if she'll watch this video. Mysterious T did a video about me because of the Uni Pebble stream that he did, and she really went to bat for me and made some really great points that you know, Unirock skipped over a lot of my video. It was very convenient how he was skipping and pausing and, you know, not allowing actual valid points to be heard. But whatever, it doesn't matter. But I wanted to tell you guys to go over and check out her channel. She does a lot of commentary stuff as well. But I really appreciated her going to bat for me, you know. I think that in this smaller side of YouTube, to have creators sticking up for each other is a really cool thing to see. And it doesn't even need to be like dedicated videos. It could just be incorporated into a video, like, you know, whatever. I just think that it's cool to see the little guys stick up for each other. See, if I would have just put my hair in two sections, see these little pieces over here? I might have not gotten to these. So it is pretty time consuming, the days that I have to flat iron my hair. But I also like the way that it looks when it's done right, so it's all good. Now, as far as my haircut goes, let's talk about my haircut, because that is, you know, that is most of what you guys see. Like, yeah, the styling is a lot of it too, but I have found over the years of having short hair that not all short haircuts are created equally. The haircut is very important, the way that it's cut. Now, I have learned that trying to save money on haircuts is just not, it usually doesn't pan out very well based on my experience. Your experience might be different. Maybe you've paid $30 for a haircut and it's been amazing, but for me, I've never had that. So my haircuts right now are $80, and I go with my hair being shorter, I do need to go more often. But I would say every 2 months I can get away with. When it's longer, obviously it doesn't matter as much. But when it's shorter, just to clean up the edges and make sure that the layers are good. So yeah, my haircut. Can't save money on my haircut, which is fine, but I also don't color it, so I save money there. It's all good. The biggest thing with having short hair is, depending on your hair type, you might need to have it undercut. For me, I have a fine hair type, but I have a lot of hair. So the quantity is big, but it's an actual fine hair type. It's fine and wavy. So I have to make sure that all of the, mass of my hair is taken off underneath, and then the top part of my hair, you guys will see when it's all down, that's where the actual, like, quote unquote weight of my hair is, and it falls over all of the shorter chopped up pieces. Because with short hair, you can turn into a mushroom head really quick. If you have no texture and if the layers aren't done correctly, it can turn into not looking sleek and slim and all of, those things. And maybe that's what you want, and that's fine too. But I've heard a lot of people complain about having short hair, and they're like, oh, it's short, but I still feel like I have so much hair. And it's usually because it's not undercut. Did you guys see those new Halloween cups that Starbucks has come out with? There's one that looks like all iridescent. They've come out with those iridescent cups before, but this one is like black duochrome. Of course, Peter Mon got it. He gets all the Starbucks cups. I'm not gonna buy it because I don't like those really overdone tumblers that they come out with. I just think that they're kind of obnoxious. I wish I would have gotten the one last Halloween that was just like flat black. But those sold out so fast, and then they were going for like $100 on eBay. I don't play that game. I also ordered a new Orbe heat protection spray that will come in this week, so I'll compare that to the Royal Blowout and see the differences. I'm kind of hoping that it's a little less oily. It's also less expensive, so if it's just as good and it's less expensive, then that would be awesome. The Royal Blowout is one of the more, I think it's actually the most expensive styling product in his range, but it is so good. There are actually people who flat iron and curl their hair and use no heat protection, which I think is just so wild. And even if you don't want to spend a ton of money on it, just go to Target, go to Walmart, get some sort of heat protection spray, because the heat will just wreck your hair if you're not putting anything on there. Kind of hoping the sun comes out. It is like super gloomy outside. It looks like October. It feels like July. I mean, it's very hot and humid, but it just looks very sad. You know, one thing I just find so ridiculous is, you know, I'm not going to make its own video because there's just certain things that don't deserve their own video. But let's talk for a second about Jeffree Star and his new boyfriend. Good Lord, you guys. Like, I think that this, if you want to call it chapter of Jeffree Star, is only existing to show people that he does not give a fuck about what anyone has to say. He does not care what anyone thinks. And then, to make matters worse, he's lying about it. Because it's been shown, allegedly, that this guy that he's with is married and has a kid. Or maybe not married, but in a relationship and has a child. And then supposedly he's trying to say that he doesn't hang out with married men. Well, you can still be a homewrecker whether or not the guy is married, dating, separated, whatever. And I saw photos of the girlfriend or the baby mama or whatever you want to call her. Let's just call her girlfriend. She is drop dead gorgeous. Like, so it really makes you wonder, like, is Jeffree paying this person? I'm convinced that he paid Nathan when they broke up. I think that he gave Nathan a fair amount of money and maybe even a house, and who knows, maybe even a car. But I think that he paid Nathan to stay quiet, because for him to still, like, there hasn't even been a peep. And I understand, like, he's over there living his best life and all this kind of stuff, but you would think even someone who doesn't want to get involved in drama, you would think that they would still at some point come out and tell their side of the story. Whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, just so that they can disassociate themselves with this person, this monster. And maybe I'm crazy, but I'm convinced that he was paid. So the one thing I'll say is, like, the last few sections of my hair, as I take them out, I really make sure to flat iron the root too, because since my hair is sort of wavy, sometimes the root will have a little twist to it. My God, the only thing with flat ironing my hair is it takes so long and it gets so hot in my bathroom. Okay, let me take like a 2-second break and I'll be right back. I'll usually just part my hair down the middle for the final part and then just work on each side. I never wear my hair down the middle, but it just divvies it in half, makes it easier. And then I will See, that's the other reason I like putting the Royal Blowout in my hand, because that mist kind of makes a mess and it gets all over my counter. I'm excited to try that other heat protection spray from Orbe that I ordered. The Royal Blowout is amazing. The Royal Blowout is amazing and it is very pricey, but I have to say, a bottle of the Royal Blowout can easily last me over a year. Granted, I don't have a lot of hair, but you really don't need a whole lot. You don't have to like douse your head in it to have it work. I have my live stream tonight. I love going on live with you guys. It's so fun. It's crazy because, you know, if you would have told me at the beginning of the summer that by the end of the summer I would have almost 2,000 subscribers and be going live multiple times a week, I would have called you crazy. But here I am. I'm just so grateful for you guys. I don't want to ever let that go. I don't care if people are tired of hearing about it or new people come to my channel and they're like, God, why is this chick always like talking about her subscribers? Because I have been on both sides of the road and I have watched YouTubers that I adore and I like all of their videos and I comment, and it feels like I'm talking to a black hole. So I will always talk to you guys. I will always be appreciative. Always. And what I do is I always make sure that my hair is cooled off before I tuck it behind my ear, because if it's hot and I tuck it, then it'll have a bend in it, kind of like this side does. So just make sure that it's cooled down before you do that. Oh, the other thing that's really nice about the Royal Blowout is that it actually, if you put it on wet hair and use it when you dry your hair, it will cut down on dry time. So if you're someone who, you know, you dry your hair and it takes like an hour just to dry it, that would also be a good product to try. You know, give it a try, see if it'll cut down on your dry time. I don't know if that one comes in a travel size. Orbe does have a lot of their products that do come in travel size. I don't know if Royal Blowout is one of them. I usually don't buy travel size stuff. I usually feel like it's just a ripoff. If I wanted to travel with something, I'd rather just put it in a travel bottle and have a full size at home. So now that I feel like both sides of my hair are nice and flat, I will part on the side that I want to, which is usually this side. And then I'll just touch up this side a little bit, make sure it's all good. See, with the flat iron, now you guys know why I say, like, if I can let my hair air dry, I would rather do that. But having good heat protection has been a game changer since I've started using a really good one. I have tried cheaper ones. For me, I've just found my favorite. There might be cheaper ones that work, but once I find something that I like, it is very hard to get me to stop using it. Having a good flat iron is also a really good tip. I used to just buy the ones from Target, like Conair or Revlon or whatever, and A, they wouldn't last very long, but B, I felt like they would do a lot of damage to my hair. You know, the plates have a lot to do with it. This flat iron that I use is the Nano Titanium from Baby Bliss Pro. and I bought this at Ulta because my Chi flat iron died. You can find Chi flat irons at TJ Maxx, so those are good. I stand by those, but I would just say that if you're in the market for a flat iron, you know, either try to go with Chi or this one from Ulta. You know, try to spend a little bit on it because it is an investment, and based on how it's made and what the plates are made of, it could potentially cause more damage than, you know, what it's worth. So it might be worth it to just spend an extra, you know, 40 or 50 bucks on it and get something that's going to be really good. And just for reference, I've had this one for about 3 years. And my Chi I had for, God, probably 6. I see a lot of people flat iron their hair and they only do from like here, you know, and that's fine. But for me, I like to get close to the root so that the whole strand is seamless. All right, guys, so the finishing products that I use are 2. I use the Feather Balm and then also the Gold Lust hair oil. This is the smaller size. This does come in 2 sizes, and since I use only a little bit, I haven't bought the big size yet. The big size is this, so you guys can see it's a little smaller, 1.7 versus 3.4. So what I do is the Feather Balm adds a little bit of weight and grip to my hair. So what I'll do is I'll take about 1.5 pumps of that and just like 1/2 pump of the hair oil and mix those up. You don't want to use too much oil because we've already gone in with the Royal Blowout, which has some slip to it, and then also the Super Shine that I put in last night definitely has some slip to it. But see how the Feather Balm, it's like it makes my layers more prominent. And then just make sure it's nice and tidy. Some days I will finish it with my Wave and Shine spray just to put on the ends, just to make sure that they lay down. And this also helps with static. I don't want to use too much because Axel is here behind me, but you guys get the idea. So yeah, so that's all about my hair. I love having short hair. I would recommend, if you've been thinking about cutting your hair off, do it. Do it at least once. If you've always had long hair, it is so liberating. It's just so easy to manage. It does take some time if you're doing what I'm doing, where you're flat ironing at like a manic lunatic and you want to make sure that every piece is laying straight down. That can take some time, but you know, it all depends on your technique and what you want your hair to look like. That's that. I hope that you guys learned maybe some tips. My 2 biggest things, like I said, is spend money on a really good heat protection spray. Make sure you're using sulfate-free shampoo, and also communicate with your hairstylist, whoever is cutting your hair. Make sure that the cut makes sense so that it's easy to style at home. And for me and my hair type, making sure that it's undercut is key. If my hair was not undercut, it would not be laying flat. It would look more voluminous, more like big, if that makes sense. And that's not what I like. So anyway, yeah, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.